Hey everyone, it's Jessica with another layout for Bramble Fox using these perspectives and some of the paper snips from the recent releases. I'm using these beautiful floral ones and those super cute clouds, and then I am going to start this off with a textured sheet of white cardstock, and I am just using some Copic markers to color in this cute little wooden scarecrow that comes in this set. And then I'm going to pull out that Harvest acrylic bit and use that on my title. So I've got 4 photos here of my boys picking corn or harvesting corn back in 2022. We had a lot of corn that year. We have a lot this year as well. So the boys just loved to help, and they loved going through and picking the corn and putting it into their buckets and helping carry it. So we kind of just let them roam freely and pick as they like. So they just have an absolute blast helping us out. So that's what my photos are today, and I thought this cute little scarecrow would go perfect on that layout. I've cut out some tags using some dies by Ellie's Studio, and I'm going to pop those in behind my photos, and then I'm just going to mat all my photos here quick with some smooth white cardstock and just place those on top of all of my little tags that I have cut out. So I've cut my tags cut in 2 different patterns from the Simple Stories it's Harvest Market collection, if I remember right, but I've cut just 2 patterns. I'm going to stick to the same colors per boy here. I've got 2 boys and I've got 2 photos of each boy, so I'm using the blue ones with my my younger son, and then the orange colored ones with my older son. He kind of has like a yellowish color shirt, so I thought that was pretty appropriate to use that color with him. So I'm just going to stack them and kind of layer them all together. I was having a play with whether I wanted them to be on the bottom like this and work from the bottom of my layout, but I ended up moving them up here, and I'm going to cut out a whole bunch of these cute little clouds on the paper snips, and then I've also cut out some of those beautiful florals from the other ones. So I am just layering my photos here. I'm going to go ahead and stick them all down to my tags, and then I'm going to adhere the tags to my layout here in a minute. But I'm going to just lay everything down on my layout and see where I want to place everything. So I'm just lightly gluing these together with my ATG gun, and just kind of getting a feel for where exactly I want the placement of everything to be. And I'm going to grab a stamp here in a moment that kind of looks like some paint splatters, and I'm going to grab my Distress Oxide by Tim Holtz in Speckled Egg color, and I'm actually going to do some background stamping to look like I did mixed media, but this is how I cheat whenever I don't feel like doing the packaging technique and doing like some heavy mixed media. So this is how I cheat and do what I call light mixed media. So it looks like I've done splatters and it looks like I've used that packaging technique, but I've actually just used a stamp for it. So I'm not using any type of mixed media paper or anything like that. I'm using my light textured cardstock, so I didn't want to get anything super wet because it would warp my paper up quite badly. So I decided to just pull out that stamp and use it. I just wanted a pop of color behind my tags and around them, so that's just what I did. I just stamped on the top and the bottom there. Then I'm just layering all of these beautiful little paper snips. I'm using some of these florals and the clouds. I'm going to stick the clouds up on the top of the tags, and I've also pulled out a few little bits from Bella Boulevard's EIEIO collection. So I'm using a few of those, like the little corn bits, and then the little square one on the left I have actually cut from a piece of pattern paper from that Simple Stories collection. It's one of the papers that come with that collection, and it has a whole bunch of little squares that you can cut apart and use. So I just cut one of those off to use on here. And then here I'm just layering these little clouds. I'm going to tuck a couple of them underneath my tags, and then I'm going to pop that top one up using some 3D foam squares. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of dimension, and I'm just trying to place everything around here in different clusters. I'm a cluster scrapper, so I like to have everything in little groups. And I'm just having a play with my title now to see what exactly I want to use. I know I really want to use this Harvest because I want to make this say Harvest Helpers, but I was kind of playing around with that currently little sign, but I decided not to use it. I decided to put this one there on top from Bella Boulevard. It's super cute and it goes with the layout, so I decided to put that one there. And then I'm just threading some baker's twine through all of my little tags. And my title itself is actually going to say Harvest Helpers. I thought that was pretty appropriate because the boys are actually helping us do all of the harvesting. So I am just continuing to build this up and just working on this a little bit more. And I'm just going to stick down all these little bits and leaves that I cut out. And I love that you can build an entire layout from just the paper snips only. You really don't need anything else. So they really do come in handy. Like this one, I barely used any type of pattern paper or anything from my collections, which is good and bad because honestly, I have so much stuff that I need to use up that I really should be diving into that stash. But this one, I just loved all those cute little paper snips, so I had to use them on this layout. So I'm just tucking that corn in there and just gluing down all these other little bits and pieces. I'm going to pop a couple more of these little flowers up, and then I'm going to bend the edges up to give them some dimension and texture. And I'm going to finish popping the rest of my title down on here after I glue that harvest piece on. And basically, I'm just continuing to glue everything down to my layout. I'm going to add a little cluster at the top with a little tab peeking out. I really like dimension at the tops of my layouts because when I look at the top of my albums, I like to see little things peeking out, like little tags or strings or different things like that. I love the dimension that it gives and just that effect. So I've been trying to decorate the tops of my pages a little bit more and kind of have some overhang on them because I just love the way that it looks in your finished albums. It's so cute. So I'm just going to finish tucking these things in here and just gluing everything down. So I'll pop some music in here for now, and then I will stop back in at the end with the finished layout. So here is the finished layouts. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this process video today. I hope I've inspired you to create something. And if you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer, and I'll link everything down below in the description if you want to grab anything from the shop. So thanks so much for watching, and have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.